Okay, let's step into a slightly different kind of exploration today. Imagine a space, sort of just at the edge of waking, where feelings, they take shape as landscapes, and, thoughts whisper on the breeze. We're going to listen in on a really personal journey, a symbolic dialogue about the inner world.
Welcome. Yes. You can think of me as someone who listens to, well, the language of dreams. Not with a cold eye exactly, but with a heart open to the poetry hidden beneath the surface. We'll explore the echoes and shadows within, together.
And I'm here to share what feels most real in those in-between spaces, those hazy landscapes of the mind. I'm searching, I guess, for the threads of meaning that run through them, even if they don't always make sense. Not in the light of day, anyway.
Right, this isn't really about a logical breakdown. It's more about feeling our way through the metaphors, yeah. The emotions that rise and fall, kind of like tides in the unconscious. Let's just listen.
Okay. It starts with a feeling. I'm standing on this vast open plain, huge. And the sky above, it's that strange color, just before dawn or maybe just after dusk, that in-between time. And I'm holding a map. But the thing is, it's completely blank. There's this really strong sense of being lost, completely lost. Yet at the same time, I'm holding on to this thing, this map that feels like it should guide me somehow.
Ah, the open plain. A boundless expanse, yes. So much possibility there. And that liminal sky, that in-between light, it speaks to a moment of transition, doesn't it? A threshold. The blank map, well, it might not be a failure of guidance at all. Think of it more as an opportunity, pure, unwritten potential. It really highlights how often we look outside, seek external direction, when the real journey, the true journey, is inward. Self-discovery. And the wind you might sense rising, carrying those faint, almost forgotten scents that could be memory stirring. Or perhaps the conscious mind wrestling with deeper currents, the unconscious.
Yes, the wind. I feel that. And with it, this distinct feeling of being watched. Not by anything I can actually see. It's more like unseen memories. They almost feel like they belong to someone else. But they resonate deeply inside me.
That sensation. Being observed by unseen memories, that touches on something quite profound. Maybe a shared reservoir of human experiences, symbols, what some might call the collective unconscious. I think of them like echoes of the whole human story across all of time. So not just your own individual recollections, perhaps, but something deeper, a resonance.
Time feels weird there too. Really strange. It stretches out, then it snaps back unexpectedly. And the map.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels like it's mocking me, just empty. But other times it feels patient, like it's just waiting.
Yes, that fluidity of time. It's often present in our inner landscapes, isn't it? It mirrors how our minds work, I think, outside the strict limits of the clock. And the map's emptiness, as you say. It can feel like a challenge. It highlights our yearning for answers. But consider it also as an invitation, a space that's ready, just waiting to be filled with your own meaning. And out of this uncertainty, this feeling, what questions start to rise up inside you?
Well, the first one is always just, where am I going?
Yeah.
Simple, right? But it unravels so quickly.
Yeah.
And much more like, who am I supposed to be here? What's the point of all this? It's like the initial lack of direction just creates this inner fog.
Yeah.
Little deeper questions.
It's fascinating, isn't it, how that initial, seemingly simple question acts like a key, unlocking these more profound inquiries, identity, purpose. It shows how a lack of external guidance can quickly lead us to confront the really fundamental questions of our being. And inside this fog you mentioned, do any specific images surface? Or memories?
Yes. There's a door, a specific door. It's heavy, wooden. From childhood dreams, I think. And it's always just slightly ajar, but it opens into just complete darkness, blackness. I always had this feeling that the answers were behind it. Whatever I needed was there. But something always interrupted me. I could never open it fully. It never went through.
Ah, the childhood door. That's a potent symbol, very potent. It often represents opportunities maybe not taken, paths not explored, potential for growth, perhaps, that felt somehow inaccessible or even forbidden, and the darkness beyond.
Well, that speaks to the unknown, naturally. And the anxieties we have about venturing into it, the interruptions you mentioned, what might those have represented, do you think?
External things, mostly, where that's how it felt, like a parent calling my name, or a sudden noise from outside the dream. But the strange thing is, that door, it feels like it's followed me. It keeps showing up in different ways, different forms. Missed chances, yeah? Or desires I've pushed down, tried to ignore. Exactly. That really speaks to the enduring nature of our inner conflicts, doesn't it? Our unfulfilled desires. They don't just disappear. They linger in the background, influencing our present experiences, our future choices, until we finally acknowledge them. A recurring theme here seems to be the self-imposed nature of many limitations we feel, What doors in your life, perhaps, do you perceive as locked? But maybe they're just waiting to be opened.
As the wind gets stronger now in this inner place, there's this almost overwhelming urge to just let go of the blank map, just surrender to being lost completely.
This urge to release. That can signify a profound shift, a change in perspective. Perhaps you're realizing the limits of trying to consciously control everything or understand everything, trusting the unknown, as you put it. That can be a pathway to deeper insight. Sometimes, true guidance doesn't come from holding on tightly. It comes from opening your hands, letting go.
Then I start to hear something else, a sound. It's faint, rhythmic, like tapping, like footsteps maybe, approaching from far away. It creates this really strange mix. Anticipation, but also unease, anxiety.
It's interesting to consider that rhythmic tapping. Might it not be an external presence? Could it be an inner sensation, a primal rhythm deep inside you? This could connect to the deepest layers of your being, perhaps. Something older than language, older than conscious thought, linked to our fundamental instincts, hide or reveal, fight or flight.
In the distance now, blurry shapes are starting to form. A tree, maybe a house, and then faces start to appear. Some look familiar, some are completely strange, but they all have this shared look, this expression, like unspoken longing.
These forming shapes, you could see them as projections, perhaps. Projections of your inner world onto the external landscape. The familiar yet strange faces filled with that longing. They might represent different parts of yourself, or maybe figures from your personal history, people who hold unresolved emotions for you.
Looking at the blank map now, it doesn't feel so empty anymore. It's almost like a mirror. Reflecting this inner search I'm on, the journey, it seems, isn't about finding a place out there. It's about discovering something inside myself.
That's a crucial realization, isn't it? Really vital. The external quest for direction often masks an internal search. A search for a lost part of the self, maybe, or an unacknowledged part. The blank map, in this light, becomes a tool for introspection, not navigation.
This makes me remember something else, very vivid. I'm a small child in this dimly lit room, and there's a figure standing in the doorway, but the back is to me, and I feel completely frozen, can't move a muscle. Later, I recognize that feeling. It was just pure fear.
The memory of the child. And the unmoving figure, it illustrates so powerfully how early experiences, especially of fear, can become deeply ingrained, stuck, the figure with its back turned. It represents the unknown self, perhaps? Maybe carrying unmet needs or desires that the child feels totally unable to confront.
And when the figure finally turns around, it's me, but older, much wearier. And there's this sense that this older me is carrying so many secrets, so many things I've tried to ignore about my own desires, my own needs. It's a very uncomfortable confrontation, looking at myself like that.
This confrontation with an older, wearier self, it really highlights the burden, doesn't it? The burden of carrying unacknowledged parts of our being. It speaks to the discomfort that arises when we're forced, really forced, to confront the consequences. Consequences of past choices, yes?
Yeah.
And the desires we've pushed down, suppressed.
Then the wind shifts again, and I start to hear voices. Just fragments, they swirl around me, hard to make out at first. And then one phrase becomes really clear, just cuts through the noise. The door was never locked.
Ugh. That phrase, the door was never locked. That's incredibly significant. It suggests that many of the limitations, the obstacles we perceive, they might just be self-imposed, created by us. The unopened door representing those missed opportunities, that unexplored potential. It might have always been accessible, if only you hadn't believed it was locked. What does that realization stir inside you now, hearing that?
It makes me think about desire a lot. It feels like such a powerful engine in these inner worlds, these dreams. But it's often disguised, isn't it? Hidden, leading to more questions than answers, really.
We're just like that blank map.
Yes, exactly. Desire in our inner landscape, it often operates symbolically, pointing towards deeper things, unmet needs, yearnings. Think about those longings maybe from childhood, for love perhaps, approval, freedom, and consider how they might still be shaping your inner landscape today, right now.
It's true. Those ignored desires, they don't just vanish, do they? They kind of fester, that's the word, influencing my choices, definitely, my relationships too. And they surface sometimes, unwanted images, when I'm alone, quiet with my thoughts. Precisely. Unacknowledged desires don't simply disappear, they persist. Down in the unconscious, influencing thoughts, feelings, behaviors, often surfacing in really unexpected ways, until they're recognized, acknowledged. But look, on the horizon there, what is that? That faint glow appearing.
Oh yeah, I see it now, a golden glow. It's very faint, but it's definitely there. like a spark of warmth.
Well,
And all this uncertainty, this gray area.
that golden glow.
Mm.
It represents a vital element, I think. Hope, potential, emerging from within you. It signifies an inner resource, a source of warmth, of promise, something that can guide you even when there's no external direction.
Looking at the blank map again now,
Uh-huh.
feels different. It doesn't feel like a symbol of lack anymore or emptiness. It feels full, actually full of potential, waiting for a new story, a story to be written. Not about the journey I've already taken, maybe, but about the one I'm about to begin.
This reframing of the blank map, that's essential, a turning point. It transforms, doesn't it? From a symbol of lack to one of possibility, a space where the future can be inscribed, free from the constraints of past narratives, past stories. And the key, it seems, is letting go. Letting go of the fear, letting go of the belief in those locked doors, letting go of the need to always be in control.
There's this sense, maybe the map wasn't ever meant to show me the way out there, but maybe to remind me
Yeah.
that there's a knowing already inside me.
That's a profound interpretation, really insightful. Perhaps the whole external search for guidance is meant ultimately to lead you back to recognizing your own innate wisdom, your intuition, and as that golden glow brightens, what happens to the plane around you, the landscape?
It starts to shimmer, like heat rising off the ground on a hot day, but it feels more like waves. Waves of memory and emotion, flowing from somewhere I can't see. It feels like a release, almost.
Yes, this shimmering, this flowing, it represents a release, pent-up emotions maybe, memories. It's just the kind of cathartic process of freeing of energy that was previously bound up by fear perhaps, or suppression. What do you feel compelled to do with the map now, in this moment?
I'll let it go. It just floats away on the wind, disappearing into the light. There's a sense of relief, definitely,
Yeah.
but also a lingering feeling, something unfinished, still there.
The act of releasing the map, it signifies letting go of that need for external validation, maybe, the
Yeah.
external direction, and the feeling of something unfinished. Well, it acknowledges that self-discovery isn't really a destination, is it? It's an ongoing process, continuous unfolding. And what follows this release? What happens next?
A profound stillness. Everything just goes quiet. It's almost peaceful, really peaceful. Like I don't need to know anything right now or strive for anything. Just be here in this moment.
This stillness, it's a powerful moment. Acceptance, presence. It allows for a respite, a break from the constant need for striving, for understanding. It offers a space for simply being. Now, just for a moment, close your eyes within this inner landscape. What images arise behind them?
Hazy images. Very
Makes
hazy.
sense.
Childhood laughter, I think. Reaching hands, doors swinging open, paths diverging in a forest maybe. They feel familiar somehow, but not tied to any specific memory I can pinpoint. More like echoes of feelings.
These hazy, almost archetypal images, they represent the broader themes, don't they? The experiences that shape your life, transcending specific memories, tapping into more universal human experiences. And when you open your eyes again within this space, do you notice anything different about the plane?
The plane, yeah, it feels different. Or maybe I feel different. I don't know. The ground seems firmer somehow under my feet. And those distant shapes, the tree, the house, they don't feel so imposing anymore. Less threatening.
This altered perception, it highlights the transformative power of this inner work, doesn't it? The external world might not have changed, not really, but your relationship to it has shifted based on your internal journey. Do you sense any guidance now? Any direction?
There's a cool breeze. It feels gentle, very soft, like a soft pointing maybe, in a general direction. But there are no specific instructions, no words, just a feeling.
The gentle breeze. It acts as a subtle nudge, perhaps, an intuitive guidance, something that doesn't require explicit instruction, but rather a feeling, a movement towards what resonates with you. What do you do next?
I take a step, then another one. The ground feels supportive, like it's holding me up. And as I move, I start to notice small things I hadn't seen before. Tiny flowers in the grass, interesting patterns in the earth. The world feels wider, somehow bigger.
These deliberate steps, they symbolize conscious movement forward, don't they? Supported by a newfound sense of inner strength, maybe, inner balance, and the appreciation of the small wonders that reflects a shift towards a more present, more engaged way of being. Do you hear anything now as you walk?
That faint rhythmic tapping, it's back. But it's softer now, much softer. Almost like a background hum. Not like footsteps approaching anymore, more like a heartbeat, my own heartbeat maybe.
The return of the rhythm as a gentle hum. That signifies a connection, perhaps, a deeper connection to your inner life force, a steady, comforting presence, rather than an external command or threat. Are those big questions from before still there? The where am I going ones?
Yes, they're still lingering in the background,
Yeah.
but they don't feel so urgent anymore. Not like before. There's a strange kind of peace, actually, in just sitting with the uncertainty, not needing the answer right now.
This acceptance of uncertainty, that's a real sign of growth, I think. It reflects a movement away from the need for immediate answers and towards a more comfortable coexistence with the unknown, with mystery. And what about your shadow in this landscape? Where is it?
My shadow. It seems to have wandered off on its own. It's moving in a direction I haven't consciously chosen. Just going its own way.
The disobedient shadow. You could see that as the unconscious exploring freely, unburdened by the constraints of conscious thought, of planning. It often holds insights, that your rational mind hasn't quite grasped yet. Does that feel unsettling, that it's doing its own thing?
Not really, no. There's a sense that even though the path isn't clear at all, I'm still moving, still breathing. And that feels like enough. For now, anyway.
That simple acknowledgement, movement, breath, it underscores the importance of perseverance, doesn't it? And self-acceptance, especially when facing uncertainty. Now look ahead. You see a clearing opening up. What's there?
It's clearing, yeah. And there's a table, a weathered wooden table, with 2 chairs, just 2. And on the table, there's an open book. But the pages, they're blank, like the map was.
The clearing and its contents. The table, the chairs, the book. It represents a space, perhaps, for reflection, for connection, and the opportunity to consciously shape your own narrative, to write your story. The empty chair suggests the potential for an encounter with another aspect of yourself, maybe, or even another person. What is your impulse? What do you feel drawn to do?
There's a hesitation about sitting down, a feeling that someone or something might join you in that other chair, that empty chair and the blank page. It feels like an invitation, yes, but also a responsibility, a weight.
That hesitation, it reflects the vulnerability, doesn't it? That's inherent in self-reflection and the potential discomfort of confronting unknown aspects of yourself or your relationships. Listen closely now. Do you hear anything? Anything at all?
A soft rustling sound, like leaves, but it doesn't seem to be coming from outside, around me. It feels like it's inside me somehow.
That internal rustling, it could signify a shift in awareness, a move towards greater consciousness, an integration, perhaps, of the insights gained during this journey. What do you choose to do with the book, the blank book?
I leave it, untouched. There's a sense right now that I need to just listen and wait, rather than immediately trying to fill the emptiness or write something down.
Choosing to leave the book untouched, that suggests a valuing of intuitive understanding, doesn't it? A trust in the process itself, the unfolding, rather than an immediate need to intellectualize or record the experience. Now notice the light around you. What's happening?
It's starting to fade. The golden glow is softening, becoming dimmer. And that inner rhythm, that heartbeat sound, it's slowing down, almost merging with my own pulse, becoming one.
This merging, the external rhythm with the internal pulse, it signifies a return to a sense of inner harmony, integration. What is your final act in this space before you leave?
I stop walking. I just stand still. I close my eyes and I breathe. Just breathe.
When you open them again, you're awake.
Wow. What a fascinating and really evocative journey that was. This symbolic exploration, painted with the language of dreams. It touches on such universal themes, doesn't it? The courage to face the unknown, the persistent whispers of our desires, the ones we try to ignore, and the boundless potential that resides within us.
And it's important to remember the landscapes and symbols encountered in these kinds of inner journeys, they're deeply personal. Your own blank maps, your own unopened doors, they hold unique meaning that's relevant just to your own path.
Yeah, and it makes you think. Those moments of feeling lost or uncertain in your waking life, maybe approaching them with a sense of symbolic curiosity, rather than just trying to logically analyze everything, might reveal some unexpected truths, something different.
Absolutely. This deep dive really reminds us that the guidance we often seek isn't always found in external directions, is it? But often it's there, in the quiet wisdom of our own inner landscape. It encourages us, perhaps, to consider, what story is your blank map waiting to tell? And are there any doors you believe are locked that might just need a gentle push? Just a little food for thought, maybe, as you move through your day.